Live too long.
No. No, please don't. No, don't, please don't, please!
Wilfred, it's my honor. Better be quick. 3, 2, 1.
Ginger, something important. I'm crashing.
Yes, indeed, then. Yes, indeed. Remembering back when we were in a golden age of Doctor Who. Do you remember that? We were in a golden age of Doctor Who. We thought a golden age was coming again. Don't look like it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't look like it. I just watched the 2023 version of the Daleks, and while it certainly wasn't as offensively bad as Davros Gate, and probably not as preachy as Starbeast is going to be, right? I really don't know. It's my guess right now. Well, it's while it would be, I would say, mostly harmless, right? Mostly harmless. And I very much supported the idea. You should know this going in, right? I very much supported the idea of doing this, trying to make it more accessible for new audiences. I've always thought that. I thought they should have gone a bit further. I thought they should have done it in widescreen, right? If we're going to do it like that. I've always liked that idea. Like, I was disappointed when they did the Five Doctors. They revamped that in on the Blu-ray box set, right? I was disappointed for a couple of things. I wanted to do it in widescreen. B, why did they make the time scoop a pillar? What he could have made it a pyramid. Oh god, it would have been so much better. It was a really good effect, right? But mostly, I wanted the times we're in the desert on Gallifrey to have orange skies, right? And there's actually quite a few more things as well, like the when the laser lattice thing in the, I think, 2003 reboot of it, re-effects of it. That was the best one, right? With the Cybermen walking over, because this one didn't really work. They were trying to emulate 83 too much, I think. Anyway, I digress. I'm very much on board with the idea, right? I am genuinely very much on board with the idea. And I know it's sacrilege for a lot of people. I like the almost universally. I like the new effects, right? I'm very happy with that. So I like this idea, and I'm going in. I thought I would like it. It's a complete failure from the idea onwards. The idea I like, but every part of the execution is a failure, right? It was the colorization at no point. I'm genuinely, there wasn't a frame in the entire thing where it felt like it was naturally colored. It all felt very fake, very I don't know what. Maybe too bright, too intense. It just didn't feel very real. All right. It did. I don't want to tell you. It just didn't look good. Right? Didn't look good. The re-edit of it again, mostly good, but also annoying and very dumbed down. Very, very dumbed down. Right? You had you had to say it twice. They did it right. Also I got you. I got you got to understand. On my version of watching it was a bit choppy at times, so that might be. Also, it's late for me. It's like it's gone 11 o'clock. Right, I'm normally in bed for like 5 hours by now. Right now, I'm a tired boy, so I fell asleep. I nodded off a couple of times in this. Not a good sign. Again, I watched all of Oppenheimer last night and was riveted all the way through because it was high quality, right? So they have the narrative device in it where they have like somebody tells them something they have to do, like they I can't remember, like said you must go and get the medicine, Susan, from the TARDIS, right? And or was it that bit, or was it the leader of the Thal say, we will go and meet with these Daleks, or something along those lines. And then as he's walking into Dalek City, they flash back to that to explain what he's doing. It was like 10 minutes ago. We remember, right? We remember. And honestly, the cut was just as unsatisfactory as the colorization. And I don't want to rank on these people. Again, I like the idea. They're a fine, they work very hard on this. I don't want to take a huge shit on it. It just at no point did it ever feel like it was naturally colored, right? At 0 point through the whole thing. I was like, did it in any way, shape, or form feel like it was naturally colored? It just didn't. I'm sorry, right? Yeah, it just didn't. Bottom line, right? It just, and the edit I found kind of choppy. Well, it did vaguely work, right? I found the edit kind of choppy. So that's a complete fail. But will it bring more people in to watch the Daleks? I don't know. I hope so. The Daleks is so much better. So much more like contemplative, interest, like good, well written drama, right? I mean basically the Daleks is you start. It's broken into thirds, right? You have this post-apocalyptic nuclear nightmare, essentially, right? For a sci-fi nightmare of again, the horror of nuclear war. That's very, very sewn into like the first couple of episodes, 2 or 3 episodes, and then you got the next 2 or 3 episodes where it then goes into one of those like British endurance movies, like The Bridge on the River Kwai or Flight of the Phoenix, right? It's like the British grit, and we will just get through this awful thing by being British, and that's like the Thals. We are the most British aliens ever, and super gay. I mean, we won the Thals. Oh my god, right? I mean, he had a permanent expression of you just caught him sucking someone's cock, like, and his expression was like, oh, that's it, like, oh, right, that expression, right? That's the one that gets killed, that cuts off his rope. She cried. Is that what they call it nowadays, kids? He cut off his rope. So yeah, hello, Ducky. I just at every point I wish I was watching the Cushing movie. Brilliant. Basically, where it was like, oh, this is like literally at every point. I wish I was watching the Cushing movie, which was a real shame. Again, I wish it hadn't felt so hard. And again, conception great, execution. Whoa. Okay. In that the re-edit made it choppy, and the colorization made it glaringly obvious it wasn't shot in color. I don't know what to tell you. It's weird. I'll be interested to see what kids think. Right on that. Look, that's the review that matters. Like, what do kids think? What do people who haven't seen it before think? Do they like it? Are they like? I mean, yeah. Would it hold anybody's interest? I'll be very intrigued to see that. If it does, it's a winner, right? That's the bottom line. Even if it's not for me, it's not 100%. But it's just like, I think it failed, right? I really think it was a failure. Sadly, and it's like now in terms of new effects, they were curious, right? Oh yeah, I was saying, so I'll break down the Daleks. Sorry, I got off track because I'm just like wandering through my brain's trying to assimilate it right now. So the Daleks essentially get your first third is your sci-fi post-apocalyptic horror. Your second third is like British of the Quay, Flight the Phoenix, English endurance 60s movie. Like, come on, everybody, we will be British together and survive through Britishness. Right? Come along, Aladdin, we will be British together. Do you want me to suck your cock? Well, I was just sucking yours at the time, so that would be fine. They look very gay. And the final act is a very James Bondian, and you see this much more in color, but very James Bondian finale. The only problem is this, though, right? Okay, so the colorization, it made the sets look weaker, almost universally, right? Like, you could see that, the bit with the corridors in the. By the way, great piece of design. I mean, like, great, because it's made for somebody shorter than a human. And Barbara's always ducking down, being very tall and willowy. All right, which I liked a lot. It felt like it was more alien, right? It was very, very clever. But like, you could see boom, where there was a backdrop, and it was like a painting shot from like a painted backdrop. You could see boom, where it was much clearer with the colorization. Barbara's shirt she wore was so pink, it was crazy. It kind of gave me a headache. So the new effects you saw mostly at the end with the James Bondian finale, right? And they were okay. Okay, so here's the thing: you have the newer Dalek raid like thing, more like an 80s one than a 2005 one, right? Well, that's you have more like that. But when the Dalek ray hits someone, it's still the whole screen that gets turned to negative. But now it's like a colored negative, right? So no, I think if you're going to go for the 80s Dalek beam, you should do for the 80s Dalek thing, and then I would have been fine with them doing skeletons in the people like they did with Dalek or Remembrance of the Daleks. I'd be totally fine with that. They wanted to push it that far. I'm fine with the revisionism, right? As long as it works. And here, I just don't feel it did. I feel, again, it felt like a very disjointed experience. New music was mostly good, with some really shocking examples of things that weren't, right. The where like when they Constantine down scenes, there was like one part where they're escaping the Dalek city, and Barbara's saying her that Susan's saying her idea, but actually saying it turns into narration about what they're going to do, and it doesn't really work. It's too concertinaed, right? When it starts off very confusingly, okay, I was really annoyingly when it starts off. Firstly, when it does start off, you get the Hooniverse logo, which irritates me now, right? It's too smug, it's too slick, right? Again, I like seeing the Cocalion, whatever his name is, and the Sea Devil, like really, on the Hooniverse logo. I like that, but it's just too slick and too smug. It irritates me, right? And then so we get the titles, which are like a weird colorized version, sort of the Hartnell titles, and then it kind of goes into black and white. You're like, what's going on? And you see the Dalek City, and did they recreate the Dalek City and shoot it a bunch of times? Because you get a lot of linking shots of Dalek City. And they seem to be in quite high def. It looks like they shot a few extra shots from that, right? They just rebuilt it and shot it, right? I wouldn't be at all surprised, right? So there's some more high def shots. If not. I mean, if they've done CG, wow, that's very impressive, right? Because it certainly looked like a model to me. Anyway, and then it goes into black and white. You're like, what's going on? How is this in black and white? I'm irritated and confused right now. That's literally how I felt, irritated and confused. Then it said the Daleks came up in the yellow. I was like, okay, well, at least I know it's transmitting in color. What's going on? And they come out the TARDIS, TARDIS arrives, and they come out the TARDIS, and then it, boom, jumps into color. Like, we know it's colorized. That's why we're here, right? We just saw the colorized titles. Right, I don't know what your point was, but it irritated and confused me. Right, that's not a good thing to do at the beginning of a new relationship. Right, don't do that. So, okay, so finally they're there, and now we're in color, and I keep marveling, like, oh god, this is really awful. The colorization. I don't want to see some people doing it, but like it was. It didn't convince me for one frame that it was naturally colored. It just did not. I'm sorry. I was putting a bloody flag for you. I like this idea, right? I like the idea. I wanted it to work. It did not. To be frank, it did not. And I'm sad about that because I like the idea. Anyway, so then we get lots of Constantina storytelling. The Doctor somehow gets lost in the edit quite, but he doesn't stand out as a central character, right? He's much more peripheral to the story. Like he gets very sick with radiation poisoning at the beginning for a couple of episodes, or like for a large amount of time, and he doesn't seem to be in charge, right? He doesn't seem to be that commanding, right? I like to, towards the end, you get real bits of sparkle from Hartnell, right? Which I forgot about, like when he's so proud of himself, where he beat the Daleks. Says, there you go, with no very basic tools and just a good mind. You can be. That was great. Like the smugness of the Doctor was great, right? That and I really forgot about those lines, and it was really good, right? It really added to his character, but mostly he was lost in this edit. I'm only realizing it now as I'm speaking it out. It was much more about Susan and Barbara, right? Barbara saves the day at the end. But it was much more about them. So anyway, so that's my next thing. I'm just kind of dazzled at like how distracting the colorization is, right? And I hear Elsie, they were saying kids won't watch anything in black and white. I hear that, I do hear that, right? It's just the execution wasn't good enough because, again, it just wasn't convincing, right? I mean, that's really the bottom line. Right, I really want you to understand. I take no relish in going, yeah, it was saying it failed, right? I really genuinely don't. I'm kind of gutted about it. So so then you have so yeah, okay, fine. So then it's again, you have much more Constantino storytelling. They cut together Susan's trek through the foul forest to the petrified forest to get the medicine, with the doctor dying, essentially, then Ian and Barbara dying, and Ian looking after everybody. They kind of get was that. It struck me it would be well as like a 2 or 3 minute clip. But as part of a 75-minute episode, for me, I found it grating. Again, I'm really not the prime audience. I get that. I really 100% get that. Right? I'm not giving it shit to give a shit's sake. Right? I think I would love to hear what kids thought of this. Right? If kids were interested in any way, shape, or form. My guess is they were. The reason I think they weren't is because I don't think it was very good. But bottom line, right? I don't know. And I think quality sells. Again, I sat through Oppenheimer, all 3 hours of it, my eyes wide open, attention wrapped to the screen, just because that was quality, right? This really, well, and so anyway, yeah, it wasn't that great quality. And the colorization lowered the quality, weirdly, by being bad. Right, firstly, the colorization again didn't strike me as being authentic in any way, and let me see if there's a bootleg copy to download already. I bet there is. If there is, I'll download it and I'll show you some screenshots from it because it's I'm gonna say shockingly bad. I don't know the way of saying it. It's shockingly bad. Yeah, not good colorization. What is this? 6th anniversary invasion reaction. I wonder what that is. Fine. Let me see. There's a bus. Hang on. And just we got no, I don't see it as yet. What's this? Just think there's a 6th anniversary celebration things over here. Let's have a look. Jake's I saw Dalek invasion. No thumbnail. I don't know. Yeah, I'll have a look at another website, see if they can. We'll do. Should we do Daleks or we'll do search for? I'll do Daleks. See what happens when I put that in. That's much more specific. No, I think it's Eve of the Daleks. A bit Eve of the Daleks. Here, you know what? I'll do Doctor Who just to be doubly sure. I would be surprised if there was a BitTorrent version up already. I mean, I wouldn't be that surprised actually. No. Shall we look at what's the one? What's that? A Pirate Bay, right? We'll look up there. Don't do this, kid. It's very bad, right? No. Doctor Who. Let's have a look there. Do we have a date? 11/9. So no, it's not there either. Okay, I'm looking at like a BitTorrent site. The first thing is an ebook, Doctor Who, Once Upon a Time Lord graphic novel by Dan Slott. No, thank you, I'm not interested. Then it's Doctor Adventures, Brazzers, Dillian Harper, aka Dillian Harper, Doctor Who. I guess that's a porn parody. And there's another one. It's either the same one or a different one, but also starring Dillian Harper. I don't understand. They said Dillian Harper, aka Dillian Harper. It's spelled exactly that. I don't understand. Anyways, and then they got the Xylon invasion book after that. But yeah, no, it's not out yet, right? It's not out yet, so I can't show you screen grabs. It's just shockingly bad. Okay, you just got to take my word for it. It's shockingly bad. Yeah, I think that's my review. Again, best of intentions, but really failed. So then, anyway, you have the British endurance section in the middle for the middle 20 minutes. That's actually done pretty well, I have to tell you. Again, edit is a bit choppy. You're like, oh, it's a bit too tight, right? It needs a bit more room to breathe. Could have done with an extra 10-15 minutes. Really, or maybe even 5. Just needs a tiny bit more breathing room. Hopefully, from what I could tell. Yeah, I mean, it got really choppy towards the end when it really wasn't clear what was going on. When you had the Doctor with the Thals attack the city with mirrors, and again, I was just thinking everything looks so much more shit than in the Cushing movie, right? It's like, but it didn't look so bad in black and white. It looks worse now, right? It looks cheaper now. I guess they had more mystique in black and white, but it looks cheaper now, which is weird. I guess because again, in your head, you compare it to the Cushing movie, which was beautiful, right? They spent ton more money, and it was beautiful. And I do like the Thal makeup in the Cushing movie, the Hello Ducky makeup. I always call it because that's what it looks like every time. Hello Ducky. Fine, you do the British endurance thing for a little bit, and it gets very, very choppy into getting the I get another example of the choppy dialogue, like when the Thal leader makes it to the city, right? And this is at the end of the first third, I would say, and gets killed by the Daleks. Ian stands there for an age before he says, "Get out! It's a trap! It's a trap!" And it seems a lot less heroic for it, right? Again, it just looked cheaper, and it's degraded it. It made it cheaper and stupider, right? Maybe kids will like it. I don't know, but I can't see anybody going nuts about this. So I'm so glad I didn't pre-order it. I'm so glad I didn't pre-order it, right? I really genuinely am. Oh, thank God. That's really good news, right? That's really genuinely good news. So then you got the final third, where you get the James Bondian ending. And again, it's very confused what's really going on. I don't know. They talk about the static electricity, the Doctor turning off. Again, I think they could have been a lot bolder with the new effects, like adding effects and things like that to demonstrate the lack of static electricity. There should have been a better way to visually represent that. I honestly, I think probably the way forward with these things is AI, right? Just a complete AI makeover. Like AI will essentially repaint each frame in high definition in color, right? And you just give it a style sheet to keep everything, within parameters, and that's the way to go, right? That is the way to go with these colorizations. And it can do that, right? It can actually do it frame by frame. They can probably do it reasonably quickly as well. I mean, again, it's got to be so. I'm comparing it to using like Midjourney, which is for image creation. But they should have like basically you trace over like painting by numbers the original one into an HD version. That should be doable. And if not, they should develop that because that's the technology they need. right? Again, it just, and if you did it that way, you would actually look like it was natively color. And this didn't, right? Again, I don't want to diss the team working on it. It was, I don't know, but again, it didn't look real and it made it look cheap. So, bit of an all-round fail, really, all things considered. But anyway, you get like the big action finale at the end. Then you get like a nice little speech from the Doctor, right? But it jumps too quickly again, and the TARDIS goes. But then you get this really nice bit, and the adventure continues, and you get this like montage of colorized first Doctor clips. Freaking awesome! That I loved, right? That I freaking loved. I thought that was great. I mean, maybe like this is the sort of thing that works for a minute or two, but not for a whole presentation. Or maybe it just wasn't done well enough, right? And that's what it seems like to me. I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't done well enough. Music, again, it got a bit weird in places, but okay. It was kind of okay. Mostly harmless, right? And effects fine, I guess. Fail, right? I tell you, absolute fail. Great idea, absolute fail, and I'm really sorry about that. Right, right here. Let's. Do I have the where's my eye candy? Oh no, I don't have it open up. Yeah, 1 second. Let me pull up the thumbnail, and I'll get to the chat and hear what everybody has to say for themselves. Yeah, I have no idea what I stayed clear of anybody else's reaction. In fact, I'm plotting to go listen to Dan's stream to see what they have to say. That's the worst thing to do for a YouTube thing. No, don't listen to me. I want to go over there. No, don't do that. But yeah, I have no idea what fans' reaction has been. So let's have a look. Paul Taylor said, I heard some little tweaks. They mentioned their Cardiff forefathers and the Cloister Bell featured. I remember hearing the Cloister Bell. That seems a bit silly. The youngsters will have enjoyed those touches. Nick Briggs definitely joined in. I agree. That's Paul Taylor. Real Super Doctor says, this is not great. It's a huge mess. Yes, it's not great and it's a huge mess. I agree with you. Paul Taylor says, awful. See, I don't know. Awful. I mean, kind of, I'm trying to be nice to it and I'm savaging it. So I guess it was awful. Right? I'm so trying to be nice and I'm so taking a shit on it. Right? Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what the chat has to say. Right? With the best will in the world, I managed to last 25 minutes. Yes! It was hard to sit through. Yes! Dave Marlin, yeah, I agree with you completely. PD Rich says, ow, my head. Yes. Now, again, I would love to hear what kids think, right? Maybe they loved it, right? Or maybe it was just shit. The possibility that it was just shit is a strong possibility, isn't it? Right? It's a strong possibility. It might just be shit. Right, let's not put that possibility to completely to bed. It might just be it. William Hart will super here. Ben Cook, I will make you go to prison for crimes against editing. It was just jumpy, right? It was just jumpy. Man, this is before I even started. The editing in particular was a problem. I think so as well. And that's not how you score a TV movie. It seemed to trying to be doing it like in era. So it came out like a 60s movie. But it just didn't feel right. Right? Nothing about this felt right. Right? Nothing about this really gelled. And I really, because people like say, "Oh, you're just being a Nathan." No, I really wanted to like this. All right, it was edited to death, and the music was far too loud. Yes, and with the funky bit in the middle, yes, there was a funky bit in the middle that was inappropriate. Yeah, 100%. Thank you, Edward Bracken. So it doesn't seem like people like it, right? Peter Rich does not like it, right? So Dave said, you can't buy this when you can sit through the broadcast. Yeah, I'm so glad I didn't buy this disc. People don't like the score either. Blimey, it's getting destroyed, right? The colorization did their best they could, but it was really hard working with the close-ups. The tech is just not there yet. I agree with you. They need some work in DaVinci Resolve or whatever it's called. It's like, again, I just think AI repainting each frame, right? But it's got to look as good. And they got to go up to 4K with it. That's the thing. It's got to look like Star Trek, the motion picture, in 4K. And this looked like shit, right? George Lucas was right. That was a really fucking awful idea. What George Lucas said that, I don't know. I agree. So take it the general consensus, it was not good. Yeah, I kept trying to be nice to it. Since I got Archer, I did. I kept trying to be nice to it because I like the idea, but man, the execution was poor. We got some fine. We're just up to when I started now. The 1960s Doctor Who poop in color, black and white made the set's backdrop look far more real. Yeah. Exactly. Color shows the painted canvas. That's exactly. I've said it already. Solar Engine actually sing. Solar Engine is doing Solar Engine. Yes, they hired me to edit the Daleks in color. Oh, Thump. Yeah, well, I can sell that. Blaster on Passes here, and he says it was okay. The colorization was not as good as I expected. No, it really wasn't. Right? It really wasn't. It was like Doctor Who on speed. To a certain extent, yeah, I agree with you. Highlight for me was the post end credit sequence monster. That was lovely. Yeah, that was. I love that. Everything else is shit. It would end up in 320. What, really? Doing it in? I don't know. It needs to be in 4K, right? If they can't get up to 4K without blinking, forget it. Right? The visual remix is quite interesting, says Heather Shane. The way that they crafted dialogue and some scenes is okay with me, but the incidental music, bloody hell, I need a song. It was a bit out of there, right? It was a bit out of there. 1 second. Let's see if there's anybody in Rumble because oh man, it's the same guy again, and I'm always bad at saying your name. Okay. Zebra Holden Zaititatas. How you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. I bet your name's Reg Smith in real life. Anyway, make sure that Ben Cook is locked outside the building. That's a very clever reference to a good article he wrote about what was that thing again called? The making the Russell E. Grant, the Doctor Who cartoon, Scream of the Shulker, which was actually quite good. Better than this. Yeah, really was better than this. Makes Doctor Who and the Daleks a masterpiece. Yeah, actually it does. Makes you ache for it on each, literally every frame. Right? It's crazy, right? It really is crazy. That's a real Super Doctor says that. It felt like watching Tron for the first time, but Tron was good. Yeah, exactly. Imagine Tron being bad. I hear the PD Rich. Colin Archer says they should have probably done a re-edit and separate colorization, perhaps. Probably. Dave Martin said it was overcolored. One element that did that was the Doctor's costume. I just find I think Barbara's costume, it was so bright pink, and their faces were bright orange. It was just like, again, at no point did my brain go, "Oh, that's naturally colored." Like, not one instant. That's really bad. I have to tell you. Peter Rich says Ben Cook stick to editing magazine. Yeah, you're not bad at that. Some edits really work well, others miss, obviously, but the soundtrack did me in. Unfortunately, some edits did work well. I'm gonna agree with him. I think some edits did do well. but I'm all up for things. But this is just shows new is not always improved. So it's man, I got to try and say your name again. Shane. I'm probably saying it wrong, and I do apologize. Problem being is eating. Problem being, Karney says, to be fair, you probably need to show to somebody who hasn't seen the originals to judge it of real effect. That's right. Again, I would like to hear what can I say? Probs, could you send it to me, that link to me via Twitwat? Because I can't get it from here. Right, but yeah, I'll totally play your trailer, mate. Absolutely, no worries. Robert, assuming you're still here. Robert Payne is here. How you doing, Robert Payne? Thank you for joining us. Fine, so I'm whizzing through the chat now. I enjoy what they did, though. It could have been much worse, but I didn't mind it at all. I didn't mind it, but I didn't think it was good. Right, I'm not like mad at it, but I didn't think it was good. Right? It's not like, again, it's not like that the Davros thing, which is bad. Right, this was just incompetent. It's different, right? It's different. Problem being says he has absolutely no interest. I hear it. Honestly, nothing to see here. Really, nothing to see here at all, in my opinion. This last series here. Turn the color off and it's better. I bet you it is. I bet you I'm gonna experiment with that tomorrow. Remember, Dick Chat, this is how Crystal D wants to see classical too. Fuck me. That with the their podcast, their shill podcast from hell. Hi, I'm a chick with a dick. I'm Crystal D and I'm the black man. Because that's just the way things are. Everything's about identity. Nothing is about character. Some of the music was a bit funky, but not all big problem. Okay, I'm fine. You're like a mostly harmless kind of guy, right? Watching Grayscale, turn the sound off with subtitles. Maybe just turn the TV off. Sounds as if who was made for it is applicable in this case. I think it was, right? I'm really okay. Again, if kids like it, and I'm not talking about the sycophantic, toxic fandom weirdos who are just like, want to be in the right side of history, but don't want to think for themselves and therefore become fascists, right? No, I mean, like, real people, right? I will be intrigued to see if this makes any, like, ripple on social media, on TikTok, really. Is this talked about on TikTok? I doubt it's going to be, right? I'll be frank. I doubt it's going to be. But it wasn't like a disaster, right? And it says physical media release might subtitle these things, but see what. But this is the new world. If you don't agree with race, you're probably a racist, homophobic. I understand. I agree. Yeah, Robs, send it to me. I will totally play the trailer. They didn't keep the music in the same style. It went a bit Blade Runner-esque, and then Tom Baker. Yeah, again. Yes, it did. It was all over the place. I look, I'm sorry this is a fail. Right? Constant flashback kind of pissed me off. Yeah, the flashbacks I am 5 minutes ago pissed me off, right? I suppose starting in black and white was a bit too Wizard of Oz, but the colors were very primary. And again, for me, it just made the sets look much cheaper. Because, like, in my head, I couldn't not compare it to the Peter Cushing one. That's why I want to hear somebody who's never seen anything before. I'll be really intrigued to hear what they have to say, or if they sit through it. Okay, I really will. Paul Taylor says 75 minutes of life he won't get back. Paul Taylor says when they did New Who thing when the whole TARDIS flashes in rather than the lamp. Yeah, I did that. I noticed that. That's true. Matthew Coombs enjoyed it though. You were pleasantly surprised by how much he enjoyed it. The original version is one of my favorites of all time. Best part for me was then my 9-year-old son loved it. Well, there you go. Listen, that's what it's about. That's what. Okay, I mean that's very positive. That for me is one of the strongest approbations for it. Chester Suicide's a Thal now. That is true. The gayest Thal ever. I mean, really, how gay was that Thal? Really kind of annoying. Rob McCord is here. It was great. Your son enjoyed it. I've seen better colorization on YouTube videos. Yes, including by the guy who was in charge of the colorization. Weirdly enough, it's lost its atmosphere, right? Here, let me see if I can play what is colorization again. Where are they? I'm sure I still have it. There we go. I got to compare these two clips when I get a decent copy of it. Right, I got to compare the two clips because this to me looks different. I might be totally wrong, right? It might have been. This might be the exact thing they used, but it doesn't feel like it to me.
The emergency switch, bring it down.
Look at that. That looked pretty darn good. Yeah, I hate to tell you. Sounds like we didn't miss much by not watching. Well, you didn't. I mean, it's okay. Be interesting to see how much of it you could get through, right? And that's really the bottom line. What's going on? X. We'll have a look at that in a second. Hope they do another in color. The story blew me away. Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, listen, says Glenn Biber. I hope they do Tomb the Sidemen. I think that would be really good. Right. I'll call that a win, Mike. Okay, if his son liked it, that I think that's really the main, honestly, more important than anything else anybody has to say. I have to say anyway. Thing is, Rusty Davis has gone from 2005. We hope you like what we've done to 2023. If you don't like it, tough. He has, hasn't he? He really has. Chris Berger's here. Doing Chris Berger. Thank you for joining us. Program being cancelled as ordered. Yeah, I bet that's happening a lot today. Falconel said, awful, utterly pointless, and poorly done. I saw the point to it, but I think it was very poorly done. Right. Again, 480p upscale to 2K. PU. I think it could be done with AI. I really do. It was a bit like the Body Snatcher trilogy of Red Dwarf. Give it a miss. It kind of was. Although I like the Body Snatcher trilogy. I want to do a third version of it, like, and get it right. I really want to do that. Kids, if you have epilepsy, do not watch. Shade Roxy Reviews is here. It did have a 50p movie feel like Forbidden Planet or something. On the cheap, right? Overall, it was a letdown. Yes! Despite the hype, music was intrusive and too loud, yes. The color was mainly all right. The editing left a lot to be desired, especially the flashback scenes. Yeah, I think we're all picking up the flashback scenes were a pain in the ass. No, you're trying to DM me, but you can't. That's weird. Hang on. I got Problem Beans trailer. There you go. Well, I'll play that in a minute. I don't know why you can't. Oh, 1 second. I'm on a new account, right? I'm now at Lebetkin on Twitter. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah. Yeah. My old account got zapped for laughing at somebody taking the piss out the what's the name? What's the name? The Jet Stop Oil weirdos on X. There you go. That's what it will get me. So fine, where are we up to? We need to put up with the chat. And then we'll have a look at Twitter, see if there's anything we can see what people are saying. John the White is here. He already done a few slaughtering tweets. Okay, so let me, we'll see what's trending. The Daleks. Let's just look at the hashtag, see how it's going down. Share screen. Doink. Okay. Bangkok Ed of the Daleks is utterly terrible, says John the White. Okay. So it's truly, utterly, really terrible. If treating the audience like morons is what is making Six's Doctor Who more accessible means, the median IQ must have dropped 20 points. So 60. That was an overriding thought of mine. The Octopus dude in color, I thought that was quite good. It just got, again, they look like porno versions of this is it of the Daleks, like cheap and weird. It just like, look, this doesn't look real to me, right? It's watch some of the Doctor Who Daleks in color, just see what it was like. Not really a mood for watching it tonight. We'll save it for another day. Only did a rewatch. Fine. It was camp, the wink, the heist music. Yeah, it was reasonably camp, I guess. Oh, that's me. But I'm glad there's clips of it online. That wink was kind of was good. Barbara winks and Susan winks subtly during her plan, right? That kind of worked. You're going to see, so you get here. That's the thing. So it's essentially a hang on a second. So this is essentially a 1980s. Maybe is this modern actually? Dalek gun firing, which I don't mind, but then it's the whole screen goes negative. Why couldn't it have just been him? That would have been better. And maybe cut out the bit where they paralyze him altogether. What are people saying? Christy, you did. Oh, fuck off, Crystal D. Wow, the Daleks in color, especially love the sound design. Oh, fuck off. Oh, God. This is why your podcast is a piece of shit, right? Because, like, nobody wants to hear you sucking Russell T Davies' dick. Who told the continuity board to say the Daleks was 6 years old? You are idiots. How dare you? Yeah, 60 years ago today, the Daleks. What are you talking about? It was in December, you dumb cunt. It's what I actually said. All right. Daleks in color for the first time. Man, it was so much better. The movies were so much better. I'm not going to talk about the clip from the massacre. Okay. So David Anderson, Dalek was superb. Well done, I want more. Well, okay. I'm glad you liked it, mate. Addison's speech. Yeah, look, the best bit was the montage at the end, okay? 100% that was the best bit. The camera pan on the Doctor is just hilarious. Well, let's see the camera pan. It does look like he's about to, okay, I guess. It does look about he's about to unbutton a shirt, a very pink shirt. Or is that just in my head? And montage, excellent, right? I wish, yeah. Oh, God. I want to be watching this thing. Or that. Oh, that. Oh, man. Dalek, but even that's the colors are a bit strong. Yeah, but it was. The montage at the end was freaking awesome. Right? Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. It doesn't seem to like people. It doesn't seem like it's really doing much, right? It doesn't seem like people are really talking about it that much. I would have thought them talking about it a lot more, but they're really not. Wow. Okay. And happy birthday to Doctor Who 60th. Yeah, they're really not talking about the Daleks. So it's trending in the UK, but we just looked at it and freaking nothing. Let's look at latest. Nothing. Yes, the war games could use a little cutting. Quick review of tonight's Daleks. TARDIS floor is blue. Who knew? I think I actually did know that. Can you stop? Can you stop time? Can you kill death? Can you close the door of the grave? The answer to the question: what the hell? Want to know more about the Daleks? It's basically people trying to promote their shit, essentially, right? Does he go more? Okay. Overblown color, yeah. Pace on like on speed, yeah. Barely comprehensible edit, yes. Yes. Action drowned out by utterly inappropriate music, sadly, yes. Liability after liability taking, even after correcting Bill Hartnell's performance. I will never watch this again. I'm going to watch this again when I have a decent copy. Because I really want to get a better idea of if it was the shit as I thought it was. Problem is, if Ross Lee Weber, Ben Cook, this is a success, they will do it to all the 60s Who, and then the 70s and the 80s. I expect them to. Simply colorizing it with sensitivity too simple for them. They can't smear their personalities all over it, and the most of fandom will clap like seals. I guess most of fandom will clap like seals. So here I am again, seeing the Emperor has no clothes, supposed to be the outlier. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's going down that well. Right? It doesn't seem to be going down that well. Could the audience, the flashbacks, could the audience really not be expected to remember the package of drug left outside the TARDIS? So you flash back to it 4 times. I know, it was weird. Yeah, there's a lot about this that's like it was. I thought it was shit. Okay, that's bottom line. I thought it was shit. I think that's all I can really say about it. Fine. Probably gonna be better than Saturday night. Probably it was definitely better than rebooted Davros, which was shy. Okay, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'll see you Saturday night for the big day, baby. Oh yes, get ready for a lecture. Woke lecture incoming, and well, it might be from me. Probably be from Doctor Who. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna hit the end broadcast button. I'm gonna hit it again.